this is the first flight that's being conducted here at Hatay Airport carrying humanitarian aid to Hatay province and is actually going to evacuate people from here. This is an absolutely monumental moment for everybody here in Hatay province and in Antakya. All of the airport workers that I've spoken to here are absolutely exhausted. I want my cameraman to just show you here a little bit of the scene. We have airport workers, there are engineers, there are people who are working on the tarmac. They've been doing this for 24 hours a day for the past week. There was significant damage to the runway. That damaged more than 35 cracks and fissures in the runway. It took them several days. You can see there the plane that just landed here is taxiing. It's going to taxi here through the airport towards us, I guess. And this is really amazing because people here are reeling. People here are desperate. Even though people are coming out alive from the rubble here in Antakya, they know that more help is needed. And with planes landing now at the airport, this is pumping a huge boost into everybody's morale here. I mean, people weren't even cheering when these planes landed. They were gasping, just hoping and praying that everything would go well. This is a very technical operation. It's very sensitive operation to get these very heavy planes, some of them weighing 100,000 tons up to 200,000 tons, and they're landing at high speeds on this runway that was significantly damaged. We're going to try and move a little bit closer here to where the plane is parking. I wonder if we're going to try and move a little bit closer here. My cameraman might be able to get up and move the camera a little bit closer. We're going to try and walk over to where this plane is. No, show the picture, please. Let's show people what's going on. And there's a lot of people here on the runway and the tarmac. Everybody is really happy right now. I see people smiling. I haven't seen people smiling around here in the past week, but this is something that's just unbelievable. It's a military aircraft, it looks like, from a distance. It looks like possibly even a rotary aircraft, but it's carrying aid. It's going to evacuate people, according to officials here. Eventually, it's going to be evacuating people out of Hatay province. There are tens of thousands of people who need to be evacuated. Some of them need medical care. Some of them are children, elderly people. People are living in temporary shelters, but it's freezing cold here. So getting this kind of aid to Hatay and then getting vulnerable people out of Hatay is going to be critical. There's a lot of congestion here with all of the aid coming, and clearing up the roads is going to be key to allow ambulances, heavy equipment, trucks carrying aid to move in and around the city. You can see now they're bringing in these kinds of equipment, stairs that they can use to unload supplies. I'm not sure exactly what's in the plane right now, but we can see now. Let's get a good shot of the plane. Here you can see all these airport workers that have been non-stop hustling to try and make this happen. And you can see now the boxes in the back of the airplane. In the back of the airplane, there's a little ramp that's been opened up, and you can see the boxes coming out of there. So I think they're going to start doing this unloading operation. All of this aid is really needed here in Hatay province, one of the hardest hit provinces in Türkiye, one of the 10 provinces that were affected, but this one has been hit. This particular province has been hit especially hard. This is unbelievable. You can see now some of these pilots are getting out. Some of these airmen are getting out of this plane who brought this air from the Turkish Air Force has landed at Hatay Airport. We're confirming now on TRT World that the Turkish Air Force has made its first cargo plane landing at the Hatay Airport, carrying critical humanitarian aid. You can see the pilots in there who have flown into this airport, bringing with them aid and hope. Hope for the people of Türkiye, the people of Antakya, and anybody else who is reeling following these twin massive earthquakes that caused unimaginable destruction in Turkey, in Hatay province, one of the hardest hit provinces. Thousands of buildings were destroyed. People continue to be saved from those buildings, but this aid, what you're looking at right now, is critical, and the hope is that more flights like this are going to arrive. More flights like this are going to be bringing critical aid, supplies, food, water, blankets. You can see there, it says yorgan in Turkish. That means that they're bringing in some mattresses. They're bringing in blankets. I'm not sure what's exactly in these boxes. You can see this airman who actually was on the flight. He's now unpacking this plane. This is going to be an operation that is going to go on for some time. It's the beginning of a new phase in this operation here in Hatay. The fact that airplanes can actually land in the airport means they can bring more aid in more volume into this really heavily affected area. It also means that they're going to be able to get the most vulnerable people out, evacuated to a safer place, to a warmer place, to a place where they can get better medical attention. So this is a huge step for everybody here who's been struggling to find reasons to continue to be hopeful. You can see these gentlemen, these pilots and airmen are continue to unload these boxes of aid that's going to be distributed to people, given to people here affected by the earthquakes in Hatay province, in the city of Antakya. You can see here this bag is carrying some blankets and mattresses for people, because tens of thousands of people now are homeless. Thousands of buildings have completely collapsed. Thousands of other buildings are partially destroyed, and thousands of more buildings are not safe to live in. So people can't stay here. They don't have a place to stay. The government is providing temporary shelter, tent cities, other kinds of places where they can stay. But that's not going to be enough in the medium term. People need a place to go where they can get out of the way, because there's the danger of aftershocks. Buildings could fall on people, and people need to be out of the city so that the government can assess the damage and figure out what steps need to be taken to start the recovery and rebuilding process. What you're seeing now is this very critical emergency humanitarian aid. I'm not sure what's in the boxes. I can see here on the boxes it says sandwiches. So obviously these boxes have food items in them, which are going to be critical because restaurants are not open. People can't go to the market and purchase food items. People can't cook because there is nothing to cook. There's no markets. There are no trucks carrying food items to Antakya right now. Everybody is bringing these kinds of ready foods, packaged foods for people to eat in the street, in their shelters, in the tents. So this is going to be really helpful. This is just phenomenal what's happening right now. There was not a lot of hope on my end that the airport was going to get back into operation. We heard many government officials speak about getting the airport operable again, but what we're seeing now is absolutely phenomenal. The airport is working. I've flown in and out of this airport dozens, if not more, times over the past 10 years. I would have never imagined that this would have happened here at the Hatay International Airport. But now what we're seeing is Hatay Airport coming back to life and possibly being a source of life for Antakya, for Hatay, and even for regions around Hatay that were affected by the earthquake that have been hard to reach so far.